All right, 5-9 gamers, welcome back to another episode, Ultra Space Time Podcast, episode 78, Subarashii. And as always, before we start, Twitch Prime is not a crime. So if you have that free Prime sub and you want to support the channel, feel free to drop it on our Twitch. If you're over on YouTube, drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more content. And make sure to follow all our creators. And speaking of creators, today I am joined by my one and only goated co-lead, Azdeek. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And he's not the only goat in here. We have Mr. Legends Weekend in the house. What's good, Ironcane? How are you doing?
Yo, people, happy Legends Weekend, dude. It's just, it's always a joyous occasion to be here on the podcast during Legends Weekend, man. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Always celebrating. And we have somebody who, I'm not sure if you really rejoice for God Key or not, Swift, but I hope you're still having a great weekend.
Yes, sir. And I think God Key's in a good spot right now, but we can talk about that later.
Alrighty, and then last but never least, we got our fellow Twitch partner, ZVG YT.
Yo, what is up, guys? What's up? That's good. Well, problems. You really added the YT there.
Yeah. Look at the screen, dude. Look at the screen. If you added it on your Twitter ad, then that's on you.
That is true. But what's up, guys? What's good?
All right. So today, this week was a little dry. So we have very few topics, which means we can ramble on a lot. We're obviously going to talk about Zenkai Rose. We're going to talk about the LF guaranteed banner. And we are going to debate, and there might be some hot takes, but which is the better Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku or Ultra Gogeta? So with that said, let's go and dive into Rose. Swift, as a God Key main, is he what God Key needed as a red unit, or are you disappointed?
I was definitely disappointed when I saw his kit, and I made because I did the same thing with other units in the past. I made sure I did not want to speak on him until I actually kind of experienced him a little bit, and I saw more showcases and really see what he could do. And the more I saw of him, I am pretty disappointed with Rose. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's trash. Like, he does have good things in his kit. You know, he can get his Vanish back on his blue card. But one thing to remember that is he gets the Vanish back on hit. It's not like Blue Boys where you can just activate the blue card and get the Vanish back. But either way, I do think it's nice getting the Vanish back on blue card, nullifying Endurance on the ultimate. He has some decent things in his kit. He goes type neutral on his main ability. He does have some nice things, but my issue is they didn't really give him the best stats. And then, because if you compare his Zenkai stats to all the other Zenkais, he's one of the lowest. I don't know if he's the actual lowest, but he's pretty far down there. I think I even heard he has lower stats than the blue OG Zenkai Broly. So they definitely did not go crazy on his stats. And my issue is they didn't really go crazy on his buffs either. So, if they would have given him better buffs, then it would have kind of balanced it out. It wouldn't have mattered that he didn't have the best stats. But the issue is they didn't really go crazy on the buffs or the stats. And they didn't even touch his green card. I really wish they at least gave him a little bit of key on the green card. Give the dude 30, 40 key on the green card, man. That was one of my issues. Another one of my issues was he doesn't have blast armor on his ultimate or his blue card. I think it would have been nice if he had blast armor on at least the ultimate, but maybe the blue card as well, since he has that ability to get the Vanish back. I think it would have been nice to have blast armor on those. I was disappointed because, as you guys know, God Key is my favorite team. I think this guy's best setup right now, at least, is probably going to be Future, because you can run him alongside Sword of Hope Trunks and have, a tanky endurance unit. And I just think he's really going to shine on Future, especially with Future's, the pure strike equipment that they have access to. I think this guy's going to perform the best on Future. But like I said earlier, it's not like he's horrible. There is going to be situations if you need a red unit and this guy's, Zenkai 7 on your bench, you can bring him and, he has the possibility of doing decently. It's not like he's just going to completely suck. I just think from God Key's perspective, this really isn't the red unit that we really needed. I just think, he just doesn't have the damage output. He's really not super, super tanky. You know, he's got some of the little support things in his kit, which are like kind of, you know, whatever. Another one of my issues was the third and fourth unique. They didn't really give him much. I mean, if you look at the third unique, really all that he's getting, like literally the entire third unique, is just the fact he restores ki by 20 when he swaps out. That's basically it. Because the plus $5 arts cost and the minus 50% to health recovery, while those things are nice, that's not even something that you're really going to notice that much in game. So the third unique literally is just restoring ki by 20, which they gimped that third unique pretty damn hard. The fourth unique is a little bit better, but that brings me back to the fact that they didn't really give him enough buffs. I don't think a 30% strike buff is enough to really save this guy. I don't think a 20% damage cut is really enough to save this guy. And, you know, ki recovery does go nice with card draw speed, which this guy does have, but I don't know. I just think when you combine the fact that the third and fourth unique aren't really too crazy, they didn't give him the best stats, they didn't give him the best buffs, they didn't even touch his green card, they didn't give him blast armor. I think the negatives really outweigh the positives here. And like I said, he's not horrible, but he's not amazing either. I think this guy is actually like the perfect definition of mid. I think he's probably, when he gets thrown on the tier list, he's probably going to be somewhere in tier 1, but that's just my guess. I don't know. I have him Zenkai 5 right now, so I am still waiting on getting him to Zenkai 7 and trying him out at full power. But just from everything I've seen and from what I've personally experienced, I don't think he's really going to be on like the most optimal lineup for God Key. But like I said, if you need a red unit on your future team, there is probably a lot of situations where he will perform decently. But I don't know. I'm torn on this guy because I know myself and a lot of other people were like really excited for the Zenkai. I mean, for the longest time, we wanted a red Zenkai for God Key, and it was either this Rose or the red God Goku. And I know myself, at least, when they announced the Zenkai, I was super excited, and I probably set my expectations a little bit too high. I was hoping he was going to be really, really good. And he came out, and he's just kind of mid, so it really was disappointing. I'll tell you right now, he's not on the, like, if you're running God Key, this is not one of the 3 units. Like, he's not on the main lineup. You know, if you want to throw him on the bench just to have a red option, that's fine. But for God Key, at least, this guy is not in the main lineup at all. So that should definitely tell you something, especially for a brand new Zenkai. Like, a lot of times when these brand new Zenkais come out, they usually hold a pretty good spot on the team. But this Rose is just not it for God Key, I don't think. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. I think I covered everything. I really was disappointed that they didn't touch the green card. I mean, that green card, you're almost better off just saving your green cards for another unit, you know? Like, if you're running this guy alongside Blue Boys and, you know, somebody else, you're almost better off just saving that green card for Blue Boys or whoever else. I just don't think the green card is even worth popping with the Rose. That's how bad it is. But I will say, the type neutrality on the main ability is something that is very good, but he always had that. So that's not even like that's not even something that they really, you know, gave him in the Zenkai kit. He always had that type neutrality. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm really torn on this guy because I am disappointed, but I don't know. He does have some decent things in his kit, but I just don't think like I said, I think the negatives really outweigh the positives here, in my opinion.
I'm just gonna say I find it very telling that you don't have the guy at Zenkai 6 or 7 yet. And
oh
it's
yeah,
a
I didn't.
unit, because you know, if you were really excited for him, you probably would have like given it like 1 or 2K to just finish him out. But you know, even you as a God Key main player who was like super excited about any God Key unit that gets even hinted, not even that. Wow.
Yeah, and no, you're right, because there is some Zenkais I have no issue spending like 1,000, 2,000 CC to like get them at least to Zenkai 6 on like the first or second day. But when I saw this guy's kit and I saw these showcases, I literally said like I'm not spending any crystals on this guy. So you're right, that does definitely tell a lot about the Rose. I mean, does anybody else have any thoughts on Rose? I'm sure I've seen ZVG use him on Future, and like I said, I think Future probably is his best team. I don't know. What do you guys think about him?
I just got him Zenkai 6 like today. And I can tell you right now, this guy is definitely not on the core for God Key, because even on Future, he's literally just okay. And that's mainly due to Future that's having probably the bench in the game and the strike equips in the game. So with all that in mind, he does pretty okay. I think he just like they didn't do anything. Like they made his stats garbage on purpose, obviously. Like they went out of their way to make his stats garbage, and they also didn't really touch his kid at all. Like he gets key when he swaps in, he gets key on swap, he gets key on swap out. He has some damage, but it's 15 timer count, which is kind of like, what's the point? Like 15 timer count is way too low for some damage buffs. And then two, he just barely has any cut, and I don't know, like they just really didn't do too much with him. But I think on future, he's fine as a red. Like as a red unit, he's fine. He does his job, obviously, to beat the yellows. And I also do think that already is quite needed in the current meta because of the Ultra Kaking and Goku running around. So I got Zenkai 6. And also LOE too. So yeah, he does his job as a red. I can't really complain about that. But otherwise, he's not really gonna change the game or anything. But his type neutral can come in handy, against Ultra Gogeta and stuff. So I will give him that. And yeah, but I'd say he's not core on God Key. And if you have a high star CMZ is better than this Rose, like for sure. So I think he's just okay at best.
So you would just Zenkai buff CMZ instead?
No, don't. Future doesn't need Zenkai buffs. Future already has the strike Z's. I don't think there's any spot for a Zenkai buff because really Future is probably the only team in the game where you can like have a full color wheel. Like, cause they have Vegeta, Trunks, Future, Gohan, CMZ, Rose, and then Mai for HP. So that core right there is pretty universal. Like you can always switch up who you bring to different matchups or whatever else. But if you feel like Rose is too ass, then yeah, you can Zenkai buff CMZ for sure. but yeah.
If you have to.
That's just my take. Yeah, that's my take on it.
So that's what I wanted to ask. That was like the question that I want to ask the most is, so 14-star CMZ versus 14-star Zenkai 7
CMZ.
Rose.
Yeah,
CMZ?
Easily. Yeah, that's not even an argument like at all. Like that's just CMZ can actually change games with his lock-in, with his damage. He nullifies just for 10 timer counts. Like CMZ just better. Like I don't think that's really.
And
even
I would say
for
CMZ
Rose.
getting his Vanish back is more reliable than Rose getting his Vanish back. Like Rose, you have to rely on actually landing the blue card. Like I said, it's not on activation, it's on hit. So you have to land that blue card to get your Vanish back. But with CMZ, there's certain situations like last man standing, whatever, when every time the enemy swaps out, you're getting most of your Vanish back, which is huge. So yeah, I would probably say CMZ actually has the edge, which is crazy because this is like a brand new Zenkai, and that's one of the reasons why I know I'm personally pretty disappointed. I was just expecting a little bit more. And, my theory on this, I've heard other people kind of mention the same thing, and, I think what it is they just dropped Ultra Goku, right? Like they just dropped a premium yellow Ultra unit. Everybody just summoned for him. And I just think that they didn't want to drop like basically just a free Zenkai like a week or two later that completely shuts the Ultra Goku down. So that's kind of my theory on why they didn't go crazy on him. But at the same time, I kind of wish they did because I know myself and a lot of other people were like really excited for the Zenkai. So I don't know. I'm torn because if you guys saw like any of my tweets or anything, I was super excited for this guy. And when I saw his kit and I actually saw him perform in battle, I was just immediately like, it was just really disheartening to see how good he actually is. Or not even that good. He's more on the mid side.
That
Dude,
kind
I
of
can
sucks.
say like
But
I was gonna say like fighting against him. Like the only time I noticed him really, like his damage was never really too impressive to me. The only time I guess I noticed him was, I guess, defensively. Someone who I thought made him very defensive. I'm like, oh damn, he's actually like taking rather well here. I forget what team I was using, but that was like the only time I actually like noticed him in battle. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like when he first released, he actually like was viable for a fairly long time. So the fact that they didn't really serve his Zenkai justice to make him viable now is a shame because he was a very good unit when he first came out for a while.
Oh yeah, he was a monster. He was a monster when he first came out.
yeah, also remember he came out with the green Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, the one that we're also seeing in this team here. And I think many people were actually running them together because you could run them on Future and on God Key. And I feel like those two units were relatively on par back then. I mean, obviously the LF being a little bit better, but I felt like, compared to him, Rose wasn't like way worse. But now this is the case.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, too, I don't really
Good.
buy the argument about like Ultra Goku coming out, and then that's what they made him mid. Because if we look at it, right, Vegeta is the best Zenkai in the game right now. Like, he's easily the best Zenkai, and he really puts a lot of pressure on any Ultra Gogeta. So I definitely think that it has to be some other read. Like, I just can't understand. Like, even if they made Rose good, that wouldn't necessarily kill Kaken Goku. Like, nothing's gonna kill these Ultras in reality. So I just don't get why they didn't make him better. But he's fine for me on Strike Feature, I guess. But I'm not like, but I have to bring him because I fight Kaken Goku every match. So either I don't bring him and I lose, or I bring him and I have a chance. So I'd rather have that chance.
Yeah. I think the thing that really sucks about this is like how you said ZVG. I think it just because a lot of people are saying that quote unquote they watered him down just because they didn't want someone to completely shut down this yellow Goku. Yellows have been just meta relevant for such a long time already, like since the Legends Festival. I mean, it may not seem like a long time, right? But it's already going on what, like 4 months where yellows are needed. And so it just makes sense that you would find some value within red units, right? And it just has not been the case. I mean, you obviously you can, like how you said, like you want that chance to win against the Ultra Kaioken Goku, so you're gonna still bring in this red unit right here, right? But you don't see any red units that are really just popping out at you, like standing out. Like no, literally, if you go on the Game Press tier list right now, there's no red units in God tier, Z tier, or S tier. And I don't, even in tier 1, I don't even think there's one like high up there in tier 1. Right? I could be wrong on that, but
No, you're right.
yeah, yeah, red units are just in such an awful spot. And I really thought this guy was finally going to be the one to break the mold and be that S tier red unit that's, you know, honestly, I feel like that we need, right? Because we can't just keep ignoring reds forever, right? So it's, and because this is the same thing that happened with, and I'm honestly a little bit worried because this is what happened with Vegeta Blue, right? Until it was only until FSK that got his Zenkai that he was able to quote unquote dethrone Vegeta Blue, right? So hopefully we don't have another FSK situation again when they bust out a broken red. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, and speaking of FSK, he's like really the only like viable red option that I see in PvP nowadays. And also maybe Ultra Shenron I've been seeing pop up a lot recently, and he's actually not that bad. But you know, if you're talking about red units, I think FSK is really one of the ones that stand out in my mind that can really shut down yellow units and blue units and just shut down anything. I mean, FSK still to this day is a viable threat. So yeah, that's really the only red unit that I can think of, and then maybe a little bit of Ultra Shenron. So you're definitely right. That is a very good point. That's another reason why they should have made this Rosé better, but for whatever reason they didn't, and it's just I know I'm very disappointed. Even though he's not like horrible, it's not like he's like the worst Zenkai in the game. Like there's definitely, you know, other Zenkais that are worse, but I was just hoping that he would be better. And like you said, there's so many yellow units running around. You know, this guy really deserved to be at least S tier. Like he didn't have to be the best in the game. He could have been like bottom of S tier and I would have been happy. But it just seems like he's not going to be that impactful, which is very disappointing.
Yep.
Swift, in terms of reds for you, would you rather run the free-to-play Goku?
I don't even run. No. The most optimal God Key setup right now, you don't even have a red unit on your team.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. In my opinion, at least, the best God Key setup is you're not even gonna have a red unit. It's the main three is gonna be Blue Boys, Ultra Goku in the leader slot, and then the green LF Vegeta. It's gonna be that trio. And then your bench is just going to be like, you know, the red God Goku for the health buffer, and then 2 Zenkai buffers for like, you know, Zenkai Zamasu, and who, depending if you want to Zenkai buff the green Vegeta again, or Zenkai buff Ultra Goku, you can throw on the Zenkai God Vegeta. So yeah, there's not even a red unit on the, at least in my opinion, on like the most optimal God Key setup. But that's not to say you could still throw like CMZ on God Key, and he's probably going to perform pretty good with all the yellow units running around. So
I guess I want to ask you guys, like, from comparing it like unit to unit based on their kits, would you guys say this the Zenkai Goku Black is better, or the free-to-play Goku is better? Or is it like situational?
I mean, if you're comparing, so you're comparing the Zenkai Rosé to the free red God Goku that we just got?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making that comparison, I would probably give it to Rosé just because he is a Zenkai unit. I mean, the red Super Saiyan Blue Goku, really the only thing I've noticed about him that's annoying is he takes your vanish away one time. And then other than that, I mean, I haven't really noticed, like, and I know he's not like horrible. He actually, the 2 free-to-play Super Saiyan Blue units are like decently high on the tier list, like surprisingly. Like they're higher than I thought they'd be. But if you're making that comparison, I probably would give it to Rose, just because he is a Zenkai. He's probably going to tank a little bit better, do a little bit more damage. But yeah, in my opinion, like God Key is just kind of down bad on red units right now.
Gotcha.
I think it's not just God Key, to be honest, though. Like, to be fair.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah,
right?
There's
It's
a lot
like,
of teams that are down bad on red.
which in a sense, it's also balanced again, because then that means, you know, there's no team that has like the edge over like all these LOE teams and Ultra, Kaioken Goku, because there's like no real prominent red right now. So we can do without, I guess.
Dude, it's kind of
No,
funny.
no, we
Like a
need
few
reds.
months ago, it was mono purple everywhere. And now it feels like it's just mono yellow, or at least maybe not mono yellow, but so many yellows running around now.
Bro, I must be the only person on earth who's still running Bojack. Bojack's actually
yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even like memeing. Like if I'm in a position where you strike and I dodge it, your yellow's dead. Like I've gotten so many Kaken Gokus down to 1 HP. Like he's still pretty good. So I think we need reds in the meta, because right now there are way too many powerful yellows. I mean, if you try to tier this, like the yellows are the most dominant color in the game right now, easily. Like LF Frieza, on this new Kaken Goku, we have future Gohan. Like it's just, we need reds, and reds are in a pretty bad spot. So I was hoping that this Rose would be the catalyst to start, you know, bringing more powerful reds into the game, but sadly that's just not the case.
Dude, just use the Vegeta side of Goku and Vegeta, man. You're chilling. You don't need a red.
Nah, bro.
I mean, you're not wrong though.
Yeah,
You're not wrong at
that's-
all. That's true.
That's literally the argument that right there, is that Goku, the Vegeta side of Goku Vegeta, remains to this day to be the best quote unquote red unit, right? It's crazy, dude.
I still much rather have a red, like actually like red on my team though, than having to
100%.
rely on, you know, the softs and stuff. Because then what happens when you swap back and then you get caught? You're pretty much screwed.
A little bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing with blue boys, is if you fight somebody that really knows how to counter blue boys with like a yellow and a green option, it can be tough, man, if you're fighting somebody that really knows how to counter them. So
Yeah.
Wait, you can counter them? Damn. My whole life was a lie.
yeah, you can, but it just depends on how the rotations go, how what your timing is on your switches. But
So I
you
can, but
definitely
you
can.
can.
Nope.
All right, I guess any final words on Mr. Rose Zenkai before we basically let him collect dust in our box again?
Just don't spend CC on him. That's it.
I agree. Don't spend CC. You know, just get him done free to play, and you know, once you get him Zenkai 7, if you really want to throw him on your team and have a red option, he you know, there will be certain situations he does okay. Remember, he still goes type neutral, which I think, you know, that's something red units kind of need nowadays with all the Ultra Gogetas running around. So he does have some good things in his kit, but I just don't think he's going to be like a meta-changing unit. I don't think he's going to be super impactful. So yeah, I agree with Azdeek. Definitely don't spend CC on him.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys handle it, but I feel like whenever free Zenkai comes out, I feel like you should always do the battle gauntlet, whether it's just for the, you know, the Zenkai C power or just the free CC. Like you should always just do it just for giggles. And then you know, you could always do the singles on their Zenkai banner as well to get them a little quicker. Don't really have to like.
Don't waste the CC. it's 20 CC, bro. It's one daily discount that you could do on an actual Worth banner.
Say if you really wanted him, but of course, you know, I wouldn't suggest that. But yeah, no, if you do the
Yeah,
battle
sure.
gauntlet and then you get the missions for him, you'll get him to the Zenkai side. You just gotta be a little patient. That's all.
Yeah, you can wait. You should wait, I guess. All right, so the other only thing that we could think of that was dropped on us this Wednesday with a surprise, I don't think that there was ever any announcement or any hint towards this, was the 5 multis, legends, limited guaranteed, 60 million users worldwide, summon with one blah 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 download banner. Could not have made it any shorter, I'm sorry. Azdeek as a free-to-play player and somebody who got roasted for his hot takes on his own videos. Go check that out to have a laugh. What do you think of this banner now?
Dude, honestly, bro, even though I probably led a lot of people astray, unfortunately, I feel like this was a really good bait banner, right? Because it's like it pops up right there 5 times. You get a guaranteed Legends limited unit, and you look through the featured list, and honestly, there's some good pickups right here, right? Like you have grade 8 Vegeta. No, I'm kidding, ZVG, please. But you also have but you have the Revival Gohan on here. You have the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Those are probably like the ones that you're after the most, right? Unless you're really looking for a last copy of one of the Zenkai ones. And also, of course, how could I forget the Final Form Frieza? That's who I wanted the most when I was looking at this banner.
Final?
Yeah, or the full power. My bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, the full power Frieza. So at first I was just like, oh, dude, this might be like actually worth it, right? Especially for me, I'm gonna go ahead and say, because it's your mileage may vary, right? Because for me, I pulled Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and although I didn't get the full power Frieza, I'm gonna go ahead and still say that it was worth it for me. Because Gogeta is literally a Z tier unit, right? Like he's at the top of Z tier right now. He's probably like just the 3rd best unit in the game. But what they really tricked you with is if you scroll down through all of the possible results for your summons on this, it goes through all the LFs. I think the last one on there is that Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, the one that just recently got the Zenkai, or that one in Piccolo, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, all that stuff, right? But you keep scrolling down and it's just regular Sparkings. You're like, okay, this doesn't look too bad. No sign of Beerus just yet, right? You scroll all the way down, bro. And right before it gets into the extremes, that's where you see that Beerus is on there. Beerus is on this. So I'm so sorry to any of you guys who were like, okay. Yeah. For those of you who went on there and actually pulled any of these, like really like just kind of like Beerus being the worst, right? Being the absolute worst pickup right here. All of you guys have pulled Beerus. I know a lot of people were upset. We're just even pulling Gohan, right? Because Gohan's not too relevant. And I've seen a lot of people be upset about pulling Goten. Goten is my favorite. I would never be upset about pulling Goten, but a lot of people don't want to pull him. And surprisingly, I've seen a lot of people just say that they have Super Vegito maxed out. Personally, I do not have Super Vegito maxed out, but I know some people were hurt about that. How are you guys feeling about this this banner right now? Did you guys summon on it as well?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Bruh, I did.
I did not. Yeah, for me, I'm still throwing everything I have at the Kaioken banner, and I don't know if you saw my tweet, but I got so lucky when I finished the Battle Gauntlet. I was like, wait, I'm still at floor 95. Finished it, did one multi. It was Tau. I skipped it. First unit, I saw that blue pod coming towards me, and I was like already skipping. I was like, wait, what? So I got a copy of the Ultra. I had a free multi. I got freaking Bardock animation. So I'm glad I didn't summon.
So you got them back to back?
Yes. So now I just need one more copy. So yeah.
Dude, that's skip luck, man. I'm telling you. I literally never skip. And I'm not even kidding. I was summoning and the one multi I skipped was the one I finally pulled Ultra Goku and I skipped the animation. I was so mad at myself.
But yeah.
Dude, it's kind of sneaky. Sorry, I had to cough there for a second. When you look at this banner, it's kind of sneaky how they have all these like older LF units at the bottom. Have they ever done that before? Like I thought they always put the LF units at the top.
Let me check in game real quick. But I mean, for all I know, this could be a display issue with DBZ.space. Because I mean, we're looking at DBZ.space, right? Not in game. So if I look at the what's it? The featured, not the featured, the Z power. I wonder if they're ordered the same way.
Because I was gonna say if it's like this in game, that's actually kind of like sneaky. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you it's not. All the LFs are on basically on top, I believe.
They are okay. That's good. That's
yeah, they
good,
all
then.
are. They're all on top. It's just on DBZ.space. So, but I mean, many people look there, so I'm guessing, I don't know, maybe it's just like an ordering thing. However, for me, whale problems, it's not really worth summoning on this banner because I don't want my 500th copy of Beerus. And yeah, there's like 2 or 3 units I could still use. It's like 8 Vegeta I could still use. I could still use, I think, UI Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Revival Gohan. Sure, there's a couple of them, but then, you know, you throw 5 multis in there, you get freaking Super Saiyan 3 Goku 5 times. Worth.
Yeah.
Right,
Man, when
me.
Pomzor says it's not worth summoning, that's when you really know it's not worth summoning.
Whale
You know,
problems.
Honestly, now that Pomzor has thrown his 2 cents in there, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's worth it for people that are not whales, right? Because Pom, like how he said, he has like 14 stars, majority of these units, right?
Yep.
But if you don't have any of these units, like say like if you're like barely starting out, you have so much free CC available to you, right? Through story mode, through these like the beginner events and stuff like that. I would say this is completely worth it for those players, right? To get a possibility at a Z tier unit, I think that's where it's 100% worth.
Okay, so I partially agree with that and partially disagree. So if you don't have Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that's like the one, and I guess maybe Future Gohan and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. If you either don't have them or you need more copies, then I could maybe see the argument to summon on this. But I don't know. I just keep coming back to the fact that we got Anniversary coming up very soon, and we also have one of the better units in the game right now, the Ultra Goku. And I will say the Ultra Goku banner sucks. Like literally the only unit you're going for on the Goku banner is the Ultra Goku. So it's not like his banner itself is better. It's just he's just a better unit individually. So between the fact that we have Ultra Goku banner up right now and then Anniversary coming, you know, those are the reasons I would say don't summon and save. But, you know, kind of like Azdeek said, if you need some of these Z tier units like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or Future Gohan, then there is an argument to be made where you could throw some CC into this banner. So I could see that.
Yeah, so I threw up the Ultra banner right now, and you can also see that there are 4 LF units at 0.5. There's the Ultra at 0.35. And then for the LF units, you know, like, I guess Evo Vegeta is viable, and the Zenkai Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta is viable. And other than that, Rosé is trash. Gogeta Blue got basically replaced. But so did Evo Vegeta. So, you know, it's kind of like, it's not the best banner to pull on either, as Swift said. So I agree with Azdeek. If you're needing like a couple more stars on your LF units and you're not really that picky, or, you know, you can just like throw a couple multis in there, that might be worth it. But if you're just like hunting for 1 or 2, you can see the drop rates is like 0.08% outside of the guaranteed last slot. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, and that's something to consider because you look at the drop rates, and while it is guaranteed, remember, like all the other older LFs are on this banner as well. So
yeah, there's 20.
You're really taking a gamble here. And I forgot the yellow full power Frieza's on this banner as well. So there is a couple Z tier options here. The Frieza, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and the Future Gohan are really probably going to be your target units. Like those are the ones that you're going to be wanting to hopefully get lucky with. So there is some value here. I'm not going to say that this banner doesn't have value. There's definitely some value here.
I disagree with Azdeek entirely. Everything he said, I disagree with everything.
Okay.
Listen, I accept the point if you're a new player. Only if you made your account yesterday, yes, summon. But if your account is in longer than like 2-3 months, do not summon on this banner. I feel like the pool is just way too ass. There's just 3 units out of the 10, 11, 12,
25 LFs. I just counted.
Oh my god, even worse. Yeah, 3 out of 25. Nah, this is not worth it at all. I feel like you should save your CC for the anniversary. It's gonna be better invested.
Yeah,
like you need that 600 Z power for Gogeta for right now. You're not gonna. Nah, you don't need that. Just save for the anniversary.
And remember, a lot of these LF units are probably gonna come back on, you know, maybe the anniversary banner, we don't know, but I'm sure Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is going to make a return. I almost guarantee we're going to see more of the full power Frieza. I mean, a lot of these Future Gohan has been on so many banners. I mean, a lot of these units are going to make a return, so keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah, and also keep them back in the back of your mind, save for anniversary part 2. If we learned anything from last year.
Yep, absolutely.
And again, if you're looking for one specific unit, there's a 4% chance that you're getting them on the last slot. Yeah, 1 out of 25, 4%.
Yeah.
You can multiply that by the amount of units that you can use. And if it's like 12% because you're looking for like 3 units, maybe don't. I'm not sure. I mean, it's LF guaranteed, but then if you're pulling a unit you can't use at all, like I don't know, Namek Goku or something, are you gonna be happy about it? I guess that's gotcha.
Well, maybe it's
huh?
a little higher than 4% because if there's, let's say, okay, so we got Future Gohan, the Frieza, Super. So there's let's say 3 out of 25 that are viable.
Yeah, that's 12%.
So whatever that percentage is. So like you do have possibilities of getting good units here, but it's gonna be like a needle in a haystack, man. You're just gonna be hoping to get lucky, and if you get lucky, great. If not, it's not gonna feel good. So definitely user beware. It's up to you guys if you want to summon. I personally would skip, but then again, if you really need some of these, basically one of the 3 Z tier units, there could be some an argument to be made that you could summon on this. But I don't know, man. Just remember, we got Anniversary coming up real soon, like within the next 2 months or 3
In
months?
exactly 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, so we got Anniversary coming real soon. And we will probably get a lot of CC from now until then. Normally, they usually juice us up with a decent amount of CC, but I don't know. Just remember, we do have Annie coming.
Yeah, I just want to put things in perspective for you guys. The one Legends Limited unit I have maxed out. The one unit I have maxed out. The Super Vegito. I went in on this banner the full amount of times you could, and I pulled him twice.
Damn.
I pulled him twice. So I got some
job.
tasty Z medals. So that was what I got for there. And I think I got the yellow Gogeta. I was really hoping to get like Revival Gohan or the green Gogeta. Did not get them. I got Goten as well. So yeah, wasn't too worth it for me. I was really hoping I would get something nice. But you guys putting in perspective, saying that there's 25 possible units that you could get in terms of LFs. I probably shouldn't have summoned on this banner, but you know what? It looked shiny to me, man. I had to hit the summon button. I had to. I felt lucky.
I think.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
go ahead. SD.
I was gonna say. I just wanted to put in a quick remark right here. I think this was the repercussions of you running mono purple for like 5 seasons straight.
Dude, I don't even run mono purple, man. I'm running the freaking the 2 ultra units and the Gogeta, bro. I'm not even running mono purple, man.
That's the team right now. That's the team.
Yeah.
Hey, Azdeek, I would make the argument that mono purple is probably one of the more free-to-play teams out there, bro. Assuming that you went in on like Legends Festival and got lucky, and then Super Vegito has been in the game since practically day 1, so a lot of people are gonna have stars on him, and then everybody has that God Vegeta for the most part.
I mean, I can see that.
I like that.
I can see that.
I would
'cause
agree with that.
As long as you were able to get a copy of Blue Boys, then yeah, because remember, they gave us a lot of Z power for Super Vegito. That's something I wish that they
100%.
did for the green Vegeta. But I remember my Super Vegito was like 3 stars, I think. And I literally, by the time they dropped those events and I grinded everything, I think now he's like red 1 or red 2. So, or actually, I think he might be like red 3 or 4. But yeah, they gave a lot of Z power for that Super Vegito. So that is a good point, Iron.
Yeah, I pulled him a crap ton on the Ultra Space Time Rush banner. I pulled him like 2 or 3 times off of that. So I had a decent amount of stars in it. And like you said, when they gave out that event, I maxed them out free for there. So yeah, Azdeek, mono purple, free to play, bro.
One thing I also do want to say though is you got Z medals, but Palm Force is proud of you because that's better than we're getting all of this, all of the guild points, dude.
Yeah, man, my sacrifice to Palm Force.
Let's go.
It was a worthy sacrifice.
So you wanted to say something, Azdeek, or I think I just cut you off?
Oh no, I'm good. What about you, ZVG?
What do you mean?
Did you summon?
Yeah, summon because I got donated to summon, and I pulled 4 trash and then G4 at the end. So I guess it's worth it.
Oh, you did get a copy of G4?
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
9 stars now.
yeah, that's good then. That's good. That's what you want.
Yeah, but
So-
if I did not get donated to summon, you best believe on my life I would not summon on this banner.
yeah.
ZVG just ain't good with the CC though. I'm gonna throw that out there, bro. This man has
do you
like
mean?
500 CC, bro. Every
I
single
have 5 now. I have 5
He
now.
has 5 CC. Every
Wait.
bit of CC that he's getting is straight into Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, bro.
Wait a
I mean,
second.
I have to. I have no choice.
Bro, I was watching your stream.
you
I
do.
felt like a week ago you had like 17K. What happened?
Yes, but I got $240 in donations, and I summoned with the 20K. that
Oh,
I had,
okay.
so-
Okay. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Mm-hmm. Mister, I'm gonna save until Annie.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's what I was
when
about to
you
say
get money,
too.
When you get money, it changes you.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
That's it.
So,
And
sell
now,
out.
now that I pulled the Goku, I'm forced to keep going for more copies because this 5-star thingy gonna work out. So yeah,
You
I'll
did
be
pull the Ultra
continuing-
Goku?
Yeah, I did. So I'll
Let's
be continuing
go.
to spend my CC.
Bro, I'll tell
And
you right now,
also
even at
too-
5 stars, he's very, very good.
And
like,
also too,
very
I did
good.
get the Vegeta from 0 stars to 6, so and I'm getting Zenkai next week because I'm buying the Super CC. So yeah. That was-
Wait, is
Oh,
it
for the
confirmed
green, for the
that we're
green
getting them?
Vegeta.
yeah.
Is it confirmed that
about-
we're getting Super CC?
I mean, we get it every month at the beginning. So
Oh, you're talking. Wait, Super CC? You're talking about the 1K CC for $8 or?
no, I'm talking about the $120 for Super CC. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't
Yes.
think we're getting those every month.
What we do?
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, either way, we're probably gonna see that for sure before anniversary. So I don't know exactly when it's gonna come, but I'm sure we probably will see that. But yeah, either way, I think in conclusion, I think we kind of all agree. Don't really go crazy on this banner unless you absolutely, desperately need these Z tier units. I mean, literally, like we said, there's only like maybe 3 or 4 LF units that you're going for on the banner, and if it's 4 out of 25, that tells you what your chances are. So, with anniversary coming around the corner, I would either save, or if you main God Key or you really want Ultra Goku, just go for Ultra Goku, because I think that's going to be your better option, in my opinion.
Fair.
All right.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
think
those
that's
are
valid.
fair closing words. And yeah, with that, we can move over to our last topic that was basically in the last second was suggested by Ironcane. And that is, which of the Ultra units reigns supreme right now? What do you think? Who's better, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken or Ultra Gogeta? And why? Ironcane.
Yeah, so I feel like Ultra Gogeta is kind of like a jack of all trades. Like he can nullify buffs, he can lock people in, he can get 2 special moves, which is kind of unique to him. I don't think any other character can do that. But the new Goku, he can combo for centuries, bro. Like you can like walk out, make a sandwich, and then come back and just start comboing you.
Sounds
But,
like Vegito Blue Kefla meta.
Yeah, right. And then what I think which is especially crazy about him that a lot of people sleep on is the fact that he locks in strike cards. It still catches me to this day that he locks the strike cards. Man, I'll switch. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, he just sidestep. I'll catch him. My strike cards are locked, so screw me, man. I guess I'm gonna get comboed for a little bit here. But yeah, also his ability to nullify cover change. But both units could do this, so you could argue case by case here. But I feel like the Goku's coverage change nullification is especially good because obviously he wants to be comboing. So, you get that gauge charged up, and you get the green card in, and you're comboing for a little more, and then you get your rush. So I feel like both units definitely have their utility. But in terms of comboing, definitely I give it to the Goku 100%. But just Ultra Gogeta, just like he has disruption with his blue card destroying your whole hand. He can lock units in. He can nullify buffs for free. He's more of a jack of all trades units, I would say. But the Goku, if he gets ramped up, man, he can be very, very destructive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And obviously, Ultra Goku right now is in the boost system, I believe. So just remember, he is, he does have that boost while Gogeta does not have the boost. So, I mean, in my opinion right now, and I know myself, Azdeek, and ZVG, we were having a conversation about this the other day. And I do think right now Goku has the edge. And I think even when Goku leaves the boost system, I still think Goku will have the slight edge because he has a higher skill cap, meaning, if you're somebody that just wants to hop into the game, click buttons, get an easy win, you're just trying to, have a good time, relax, and play, I think Gogeta is going to be your unit. But if you're somebody that really knows how to take advantage of Goku's gauge, you really know how to take advantage of, getting your Vanish back, drawing the infinite green cards, and stuff like that, I think Goku is going to be the better unit just because he's, in my opinion, I think the Goku's kind of more annoying to deal with because you got the strike lock, you got the never-ending combos. It seems like, you can force him and get rid of his Vanish, but then 2 seconds later, he has his Vanish back anyways. In my opinion, I do think the Goku is slightly better. But then again, I am interested to see, what it looks like when he does leave the boost system. But I don't know. I'll let ZVG or Azdeek take over here. But I do think, in my opinion, I would give the crown to Goku.
All
I
right,
like how he doesn't trust Iron Army.
Well, no, I'm passing it to them because we were just having it. I think we were talking
already
about this
talked
in a
about
video the other day. So
I'm just pulling your leg. Go ahead, ZVG.
I think Goku is the better unit. I feel like Gogeta is the only better 10 counts during a game, and those 10 counts are where the 5 counts where he logs in.
Yeah.
I think other than that, I think Goku easily take this count. I feel like in neutral, Goku is way more threatening because if he does vanish you, he gets double card draw speed, and with that he'll be able to get his vanish back and keep going. He'll have infinite ki. He very rarely loses ki because he draws a green card, which gives him ki and gives him a card too. So it's never ending combos. He get his vanish back, so you're gonna be reset back to neutral once again, and then it's just gonna be a catching game where you have to like catch him to force him to swap out. And then if you have him in a combo, then you swap out. If you have strikes, your combo is halted. So I feel like the strike lock is probably the most oppressive thing in this kit. I feel like it really, like, if it slips your mind, you're screwed, because then you swap in, you're like, oh my god, I forgot he locked strikes, and then you can't get in the combo, he catches you, you're gonna be dead. And then two, his main ability, like that, I didn't put it the best, because if he pops the main and he catches you, like, you are just gonna be screwed, because he gets 30 counts of notification. The ultimate, insanely powerful. It's just, I feel like he's just better, but not by much, because I think Gogeta has the blast armor, the specials that destroy cards, the double ultimate, the free cover notification on the green card. I feel like he has a lot of good tools, but I feel like Goku just slightly edges him out. I feel like, because if two skill pairs are fighting and they're using Gogeta and Kaioken, I feel like the Kaioken is gonna look way more impressive, because they're actually very, I wouldn't say huge skill gap, but there's a skill gap with his gauge on how you can manipulate it to better suit your advantage in a match. But that's just my thoughts on Kaioken versus Gogeta.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with the gauge, I mean, and I'll just quickly say something real quick. With the gauge, I think there's really two ways of looking at it. You can either constantly just fill it up and draw green cards. You can treat it like that, just like an infinite green card factory. Or one thing I've been doing is I'll charge the gauge to where it's like almost full, and then I'll actually, take advantage of that. When I vanish, I'll do a quick little charge step, and then I get my vanish back. So I think there's different ways of using the gauge, and that's one of the reasons I think the Goku has a slightly higher skill cap than Gogeta. Gogeta, you just click cards and you're gonna win. But the Goku, you really have to know what you're doing. But once you do master that gauge, he can be pretty deadly. And also, the Goku has the cover change notification on his main ability, which I think is a little bit more, you can just kind of choose whenever you want to activate that. And with the Gogeta, you have to draw a green card. So I think that is something to point out. Like, they do have both, they are both able to nullify cover changes, but with the Goku, you can kind of activate that whenever you want to with the main ability. And the Gogeta, you have to just make sure you're drawing a green card at some point. So I don't know. Azdeek, you have anything to say about this?
Yeah, so basically I agree with both of you guys. I think it's extremely close, right? I do think Kaioken Goku will slightly edge him out, especially when you go to the higher skill cap in terms of, like, in rating match, right? Rating match, the higher you get, I think the more you're going to see Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken shine more so than Gogeta. But the lower you are, I do think Gogeta is going to shine more, right? Where my opinion completely changes is in LBR. Right, so I've played just a little bit of LBR, right? I used to play it a lot, actually, but as of recently, I wanted to get back into, like, just the LBR no rush matches. And when you get into there, I think there's no argument to be made. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken completely outclasses Gogeta in that setting. When you're not having to worry about the rush, when you're having an equal advantage in terms of stars, it's absolutely, because correct me if I'm wrong, but in LBR you're not getting the boost, right? You're not getting the rating boosts, or are you?
I don't. I think the boost only affects PvP, I believe.
Like, only ranked, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically you're already getting a taste of what he's like without the boost, and I want to confidently go ahead and say that there's no world in which Gogeta is going to outperform that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken in the LBR no RM matches. It's absolutely insane. He can literally just solo the enemy, right? Especially if you don't have to worry about a rush, just take the hits. You're gonna go ahead, because it's worth taking the hits just for a chance to maybe get that double card draw speed, getting your gauge back up. Because also, too, keep in mind, you're going to take full advantage, because in PvP sometimes those matches go really quickly, especially when you consider the rush and how fast you get the rush. But in LBR, you're going to use all 7 of your, because it's 7 heals, right? 7 heals and then 5 vanish restorations. You're going to use all of those there, right? And dude, he ramps up so damn quickly, man, and it's so hard to get through him. And especially because even in LBR, I think most people are still just running Ultra Gogeta alongside him, and they're like the perfect pair. But even then, Ultra Goku he looks so damn good in that setting, man. He looks too good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with the fact that he gets double card draw speed when he vanishes, I think it, like you guys have already kind of touched on, that really pushes him to the next level, because you need to have those cards to be able to charge, and then you need to charge to be able to fill your gauge up and get your vanish back. And really, when you vanish, you're either gonna get caught or you're having patience and you're going to catch your enemy in a sidestep. So if you vanish, catch your enemy in a sidestep, that's just going to be the start of a really long combo. But the one thing I wanted to say is, if you're somebody that uses the mechanic of tackle vanishing, which I'm sure you guys probably already know what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of situations where, a lot of people tackle and then they go immediately into a strike. Like you tackle, the enemy vanishes, and then you just pop a strike. But there's another thing you can do where you tackle, and instead of going for a strike, you go for a vanish. And then this will catch people where they might try to go for a tap attack, but you can vanish their tap attack. And if you're somebody that uses tackle vanishing, you're gonna love this Goku, because I can't tell you how many times you just get free 2 times card draw speed from tackle vanishing. So yeah, I'm loving this Goku. I only have him 5 stars, and he's still performing very, very good. I am interested to see how he's going to be when he leaves the boost system, but I'm predicting it's just going to be another Ultra Gogeta where he's still going to be very, very good even after he leaves the boost. So
I think the scariest thing about this guy is, like we touched on before, just when he pops his main, like if he has a full hand of cards and he pops his main, like you're just screwed, dude. Like you're gonna be comboed for a long time, and most likely if the person hasn't rushed already, they're getting their rush off of that. So they could either use their special ultimate arts or just use the rush, and then one of your characters are dead. So you don't have endurance or revival. So he's very scary. And speaking of his ultimate arts, that I noticed that it's not like a blast armor type thing, but like he just like is immune to like damage or something.
Yeah, he won't take damage from a blast guard. It's almost like a rush. He just goes right through it.
Yeah, I feel like that's very interesting and unique, and I'm curious if they're gonna start adding that to other characters. That's like the first time we've seen something like that. But
Full power
this character, what's that?
Full power Frieza's green has the same effect.
Oh, it doesn't have like the blast armor aura?
No, I'm talking about the green from the old full power Frieza. Right, the endurance one. He goes like around the blast as well, but he can only combine it with the blue card.
Oh yeah, that is true.
True.
But yeah, I mean, it is tough to compare these guys because they're obviously the best units in the game. But it's, in my opinion, and obviously I'm biased towards Godkey, but even if I wasn't biased towards Godkey, I think I would still give the edge to Goku here just for what he can do, man. Like they really went all out on his gauge. Like that gauge is crazy. And kind of like Azdeek said, when you're actually in PvP, once you kind of gain a couple priorities, pop a rush, I mean, the match is already almost over. So even though he only gets his vanish back 5 times, that's really all you need for PvP. But I will say in LBR, you probably will use up those vanish restorations pretty quickly. But for PvP and for ranked, I think this guy just dominates, man. Even at low star, even at 5 stars, he absolutely dominates. And from a God Key perspective, he is so good for the team. Like I've actually been like having a lot of fun playing with God Key recently, and that definitely feels good after the Rose shaft. After they dropped the Zenkai Rose and he's not really that impressive. I think Ultra Goku is kind of the shining light here, but then we just get back to the conversation of you got to get lucky on your summons, and that's the unfortunate part. I mean, I think I spent like 25K on his banner before I even pulled him. So you just really got to get lucky, and that's the part that kind of sucks. But if you are able to get lucky and you are able to get a copy, he's really going to help out God Key and many other setups. I think one of the better setups in the game right now is the 2 Ultra units and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. That team is absolutely nasty. So there is a lot of different setups you can run him on, but just from God Key's perspective, I do think he helps the team a lot. Like, there probably really wouldn't be an optimal God Key team right now without him. So,
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like the Ultra Goku is probably one of the most entertaining like units to watch fight. Like I'll go on GodTube and I'll like look see like there's any matches with people using that unit. I'll just like say grab a like bag of popcorn, bro. I'll just watch. I'm just curious like to see like what happens when like this unit like catches priority. Like in terms of just watching spectacle, I feel like this Goku is definitely a little more entertaining just to see like what the player does and how they capitalize on things instead of Ultra Gogeta, because Ultra Gogeta, like like you were saying, Swift, he gets priority, just clicks a couple cards, pops the blue, that's kind of it. But with the Ultra Goku, there's just so much stuff he can do.
yeah, I agree with that for sure. Because like I said, in my opinion, there's really only two ways of taking advantage of the gauge. And like I said, you're either gonna just constantly charge and draw infinite green card, or the 7, whatever, however many green cards. You're just gonna keep getting the green cards, or you're gonna try to, take advantage of the Vanish Restoration, where like you charge the gauge like almost full, and then you can, when you vanish, you just do a quick little charge step and get your Vanish back. So I think there's different ways of utilizing the gauge.
In terms of teams, what do you guys think? Which unit has the better team setup?
Those two together with G4.
Yeah, that team is probably up there with LOE. I think, in my opinion, LOE is probably the best team in the game right now. And that's only if you have a stacked LOE team. If you're somebody that has like 14-star LF Yellow Frieza and you just have a stacked LOE team, I do think LOE is the best team in the game right now. But the 2 Ultras alongside Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, that team is definitely up there with them. So, but if you're just talking about their respective teams, I mean, they're both Saiyans, right? So you can always build like a Saiyan setup with both of them, right? But Gogeta has fusions, and I do think if you're comparing fusions to God Key, I would still give the edge to fusions right now. So I would probably say Gogeta, but at the same time, like they're both Saiyans, and especially right now with the leader slot, like you can literally just, like I said, you can throw Ultra Goku on a fusions team and you're fine. So with the leader slot, it's kind of tough to say, but I would say Gogeta just because fusions is probably in a better spot than God Key. So.
And then there's the leader slot.
Yeah, and then we always have the leader slot where you can just really build whatever type of team you want. So.
I was gonna ask, in terms of like weaknesses, what do you guys like? Do you think the Goku has more weaknesses, like in terms of defense, or does the Ultra Gogeta have more weaknesses?
I think Goku has more weaknesses only if you don't know what you're doing with the gauge. I've fought people, and even myself, when I first pulled him and I was like practicing with the gauge, I kind of noticed like the mistakes that I was making, and I slowly kind of practiced and tried to get better at the gauge. But the people that really don't know what they're doing with the gauge, I've seen people where like they'll vanish and then they'll just sit there and charge. And it's like, you don't get your Vanish back immediately. You got to charge that gauge fully. Either that or you charge it to where it's almost full, and then you can do a quick charge step to get your Vanish back. So, I mean, I would probably say the Goku only if you're fighting somebody that doesn't really know how to take advantage of the gauge. Especially because Gogeta is just so easy. Like, literally, like Gogeta, like you don't really have to have a high skill cap to play with Vegeta, especially if you have a high star Gogeta. So I'd probably say Goku if the person doesn't really know how to take advantage of the gauge. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree with that.
Yeah. I 100% agree with that too.
Definitely with the skill cap. Dude, with the one thing that triggers me with this Goku, man, it just shows the potential that Cell could have had, bro. The LF Cell.
Oh my
I
God.
just feel like Cell got so cut, dude. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he was kind of like dead on arrival, like low key, or maybe he was good for like a week. But like, it just shows the potential that like these gauges have. And Cell's in comparison to the Goku's, it's just like, you can't even really compare, bro. It's just like Goku's obviously so much like leagues above better. And it's just like, bro, like they gotta like pump that Cell up with something, dude. Like give him steroids, a plat equip. Like, I don't know, dude. He needs Jesus.
Well,
Like,
I heard ZVG brought up a really good point the other day about just the timing of when they dropped Cell. Like he came at a really weird time where like you said, he was good for like a week or two, and then like the meta completely changed. And I when ZVG said that, I completely clicked in my mind. I'm like, dude, you're totally right. Like he came at a weird time.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, man. I thought it was gonna be the savior of androids, but it was not.
I gotta say, because I got super lucky on his banner, maxed him out. I used him for quite a while, like on yellow, purple with, the Zenkai Piccolos. That was a good setup, but also because, hybrids were still on like, the fringes of the end of their meta. So that's what he was at. But it feels like he was the guinea pig for the gauge that we got now.
Yeah.
They were like, oh shit, okay, this takes too long and it only does something once. All right, let's just, do it like 500 times.
Yeah, the rate that Goku's gauge charges up too, like it is quick, man.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's not like
Yeah, it's
super quick. Like Swift's saying, like if you vanish and you didn't like charge it up at all, don't expect to like, charge it up that quick. But if you're doing it little by little, you can get it. So you can manipulate it in a way where you vanish, charge it up a little bit, you got your vanish back. But like with Cell, you need to be sitting there for a little bit charging, man. Like those, like.
You also don't want to overcharge it too early because he heals, and if you're full HP,
true,
it's like kind of feels wasted.
Yeah,
100%
for sure. And like I said, if you're somebody that takes advantage of tackle vanishing, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about, but like the tackle vanishing, if you do that, you're gonna love this Goku because you're not trying to, like I said, you're like. A lot of times if you vanish, you're going to sit there and be patient and just hope that the enemy sidesteps. But a lot of times, especially in higher ranks, the enemy just is not going to sidestep. But if you tackle vanish and then you get that 2x card draw speed, you don't even have to worry about catching your enemy in a sidestep. You're going to pick up the card draw speed, and then that's going to give you, the perfect amount of time to start charging and get that vanish back. So I think tackle vanishing is just going to be a very, very good strategy to use with this Goku.
Yeah, the one thing that you just still need to keep in mind is like what happens to me sometimes is that, the charging animation throws me off and I overcharge on a strike.
Yeah, definitely. It took me a second to, well, dude, because it's kind of funny because like I used to like tease people that would like charge between their strike cards. Like, oh, this guy's charging between his strikes. Like,
yeah,
just
because
joking
it
around.
looks stupid.
Yeah, well, and there really was never a usage for it because you didn't gain that much more ki compared to sidestepping. Like, really, charge stepping was really only meant for like after blast cards. But it's just funny now that we got this Goku, charging between your strikes is actually viable. So I don't know, it's kind of funny.
But only for that one unit, though.
Yeah. Only for Goku. Only for Goku.
Is there a way, like, say you're in a scenario where you only have a green card left, and you just use a strike or a blast? Can you charge a little bit before using the green, or like, is there no way to combo
not
with
after
that?
a strike, but after a blast.
Only after a blast, and you have to do a really short. You have to do it even after a blast. You have to do a short charge. You can't do a full charge.
Basically, after a blast, you charge as long as you would charge after a strike, and then you can still use the green card.
Okay.
Because it gives you more frames.
Yeah, that's actually a good way of putting it. Like you would time it the same as you would after a strike.
I did not know that. Thank you. Hot tip. You're first.
But there's a lot of situations you can take advantage of stuff like that where like, if your enemy is going to swap out and that they're going to swap out, maybe you just, you make your charging animation just a little bit longer and then it turns into a drop combo and stuff like that. There's a lot of mind games you can use with this Goku, man. He's so good.
One team that I want to...
Oh, go ahead, CPG, you got it.
I know. I'll say that one thing that I've been using with the Goku is the Goku Ultra Gogeta and the Zenkai 7 Death Buff Goku.
Ooh,
that's actually like
that sounds
a
nasty.
pretty good team. And then the bench is Namek Goku. You should run Gogeta there and then ES Goku for HP. But I don't have the Gogeta Zenkai, so I'm running Gogeta Blue on the bench instead. But yeah, that team is it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a setup I want to try. I love that Death Buff Goku. I have not tried that setup yet, so you just gave me a new team idea.
Dude, imagine getting triple card draw with the Ultra Goku. Dude, that'd be insane.
Well, remember the Death Buff Goku? I don't think he gives card draw speed. He gives like a damage buff, and he increases your blue card damage.
Yes, that's the future Gohan.
Yeah,
I think you're thinking of.
Oh my bad.
I wish the Death Buff Goku gave card draw speed. That'd be crazy.
If he did, he'd be too broken.
Yeah, no, I agree. He would be busted. He'd be busted. I think that's probably the reason why they have not Zenkai the yellow Gohan, because that would just be insane.
Yeah.
But those death buffs are very nice. Like I know myself. I notice a difference. Like when that death buff Goku dies, like you will notice a difference in your allies' damage for sure.
Do you guys feel a little weird that like the free ultras are just kind of like whatever, dude. Like they were cool for a second, like the new animations, but now they're kind of been tossed to a side. Like the only one that's like kind of viable is the Shenron.
Yeah, Shenron.
Yeah.
The
I
others
mean,
are
it's-
I
just
don't know.
trash.
I think we all kind of expected it, you know, like when they originally announced Ultras, we knew that this was going to happen. Like we knew,
Yeah.
we knew that they were going to start out free, and then we knew that they were going to go premium, and we knew that the premium ones were going to be busted. I just didn't know that they were going to be this busted. Like, and I think that's kind of a topic I think a lot of people are dealing with right now, and a lot of people are kind of aggravated at the game because the game right now is literally summon for the ultras or you're going to be at a disadvantage in PvP. And it's already so hard to summon. It's already so hard to pull the damn ultras. Like I literally, it took me, I think 35K to get my first copy of Ultra Gogeta. And I didn't even pull Gogeta on the first banner. I got him on his return banner. So it took me like
Same.
35K for Gogeta. It took me, I think 27K to get my first copy of Goku. I mean, it is tough to get a copy of these ultras. And it's, man, if you're a whale, it doesn't matter because you're gonna summon anyways, right? But if you're either free to play or you're like myself, like you're like a budget player, like I wouldn't even call myself a dolphin because I really don't like spending. I'm just a budget player. And if you're somebody like that, it's just gonna be tough, man, because you're really just relying on RNG and relying on getting lucky. And I think that's kind of the struggle a lot of people are having. with
Welcome to
Legends
Dragon
right
Ball
now.
Legends.
But it's even worse now than it's ever been. I mean, we've always dealt with power creep. We've always dealt with like these busted LF units that come out, and obviously LFs are always hard to pull. But it's even worse now than it's ever been, in my opinion, just because these ultra units are so high above everybody else.
I think the biggest issue that I have with it is just the fact that Ultra Gogeta was just the definite best unit in the game. Right? And so we didn't really expect the power creep so soon. And then Ultra Kaioken comes out, and guess what? They can be ran right there on the same team together, and that's what everyone's doing. So I think that's what really sucks. Is that?
Yeah, that's the scary part. You can run them together.
Yeah, that's the one thing, because it would have been fine, honestly, if he was just like his own entity and he was just limited. And you can kind of tell that's what they do, right? With the leader slot skill, right? He's not gonna, one of your ultras aren't going to get that full buff from not being in the leader slot, and then because they want their specific tags, right? Goku wants the Universal Survival Saga, I believe, and then Gogeta, he wants the Fusion Warriors. So you're gonna miss out on what, like just 5%? That's not it's not that punishing at all. So people are just running them side by side. It doesn't matter. They're just so damn good and they have such good synergy together. I think that's really my only issue with it. I don't think they should have been able to be ran together. And I'm praying. I know a lot of people are saying that for anniversary, they're already shoving UI Goku down our throats, right? I really hope that's not the case, dude. Because imagine you're just gonna have UI Goku, Ultra Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken, and then Gogeta as the leader. That's gonna be awful.
But then,
Yeah,
what would they drop then? Because it has to be a Saiyan. A Saiyan is definitely coming on the anniversary. So whether or not, unless they go the villain route and just like have only villains with the anniversary, which I think is not gonna happen.
That's why it sucks, because that's the only guy that's hype enough for an anniversary unit, right? So it's like it kind of didn't make sense to me, at least, to drop an Ultra Saiyan that's this good.
Yeah.
If they're gonna drop another Saiyan for an anniversary, bro, like I don't know.
Would you guys want them to like have a like restriction on how many ultras you can run on a team? Would that be? Would you guys? Agree or like disagree with that?
I could
Also chat too.
I could see that like being something, but I don't know, because then the people that summon for all these ultras, then they'd make the argument like, well, I don't know. That's actually a tough topic. I'm gonna think about that if anybody else wants to talk about it. That's a tough one.
I think it should just be more punishing. The more ultras you have on there, at least. Maybe not just completely restrict it, but it should definitely punish you for it.
You know what they should do is they should, and we kind of already touched about it with the ultra ability, how they have, you get certain advantages for running them in the leader slot and not in the leader slot, whatever. They need to like really restrict, if they're gonna make a unit this good, right? Like Ultra Goku, Ultra Gogeta. These are obviously the best units in the game. If you're gonna make a unit this good, I think you really should limit the kit to where they get most of their buffs if you're running them on their respective teams. So while they are both Saiyans, one's God Key and one's Fusion. So I think it should have been where you look in their kit and they get a lot of their whether it's damage buffs or damage cut or whatever, they get a lot of their buffs when you run them on their respective teams, and that would discourage people of just running like a massive like really good Saiyan team where you just throw all these units together. That's like the only thing I can think of. I don't know what else they could do. I mean, I guess as we get to a point they start dropping more and more ultras, I could definitely see that argument, CBG, where like maybe you get punished somehow for running a bunch of the ultras together, but I don't know. That's a tough topic, man.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, like, even if it wasn't a Saiyan, people would have still run the ultras together because of the leader slot. So it's like, because there's just two premium ones right now. We have like 5 ultras in the game right now. So look at what Dokkan did, They also had the free Legend LRs. And eventually they got, the pay-to-play premium ones, and they obviously outclassed them by a lot. So, and I think Toshi I'm not sure if he was still producing the game at that time or, with the team or not, but I guess just took a page out of that playbook because it works. So I'm not super surprised that it's gone this way. You said it yourself, Azdeek, where we were expecting it, or Swift, I think, said it. So, it is what it is. I still am happy that at least the rates are not 0.25% and 600 Z power, but 0.35, which is already still not very good, and 2000 Z power. So if you do get him, at least, you already have him at 5 stars. That's something. And I think with that said, I would say we're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to be back in 3 minutes with your questions. So take a break, get your popcorn, get another milkshake, whatever you need to do, and we'll see you on the other side. Be right back. Alrighty, guys, we are back with your questions, and I'm going to hand it over to, how fitting, MC Swift. Take it away and put your questions in the chat, everybody.
Yes, sir. Well, while we're waiting for chat's questions, I'll start it off with a question of my own. Do you guys think God Key will continue to receive more love? Like, are we predicting more God Key for the anniversary, or do you think they're going to switch to a different team?
No, it's gonna be God Key.
That's what I'm thinking. I just wanted to hear you guys' opinions.
God Key is going through the GT phase, where it's a similar timeline to where GT started getting buffs before the anniversary. God Key is going through that same transition, and hopefully they do give God Key what they absolutely need, which is a revival or endurance character. Yes, Toshi, I know you know that, and I know you're gonna continue shafting God Key mates by not giving them that and giving them everything. Dude, they're giving God Key so many units that deal damage and nobody who has defense. Like, it's just they gotta be doing it on purpose, I feel like.
Yeah.
Get the revival Goku, bro. The blue one. You don't like him?
Clapku, dude.
Bro, when Swift
Clapku.
stopped running Clapku, it was over.
Facts, dude.
Crap, cool, please.
Bro, and the issue with Clapku is really his damage output. Like, his defense, like, I'll still say Clapku is one of the more tanky units in the game. Like, if you have him Zenkai
That's
buffs,
cap.
14 stars, he is super. No, dude, it's true. Clapku's defenses are immaculate, but his problem is his offenses. Also, Azdeek asked real quick, was the leader slot a mistake? And then I also see some other questions we'll move on to, but I think that is a good question. Do you guys think the leader slot was a mistake?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so at this point. After the ultras,
I feel like because it just enables broken teams. It doesn't enable like anything other than that, really and truly. I feel like if the leader slot wasn't a thing, they wouldn't have all these crazy setups and all this crazy nonsense going around, right? But also too, it does benefit some players because some players are missing that key piece, and then that key piece can be filled with another unit.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I do get it, but for the most part, man, it's just been a lot of BS broken stuff running around right now.
That is a very good point, though. Like, if you're somebody that is missing a certain unit on a team, the leader slot will help you be able to, fill out your team better. I do agree with that for sure.
Yeah, just put Future Gohan on it, right?
I mean, basically, he's probably arguably one of the better leader slot units in the game, just because he can go on like really any team. But yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question because, I think if they would have dropped the leader slot like a while ago, it would have been better. But now with the leader slot combining with these busted premium ultras, I think that's the issue. Is just the fact that you have the leader slot and then now you have these crazy ultra units that you can just throw in the leader slot. So that is the only reason I would say it's a mistake. But if they would have dropped it like a year and a half ago, I think it would have been a lot better. That's kind of my take on
Do
that.
you guys think they should have limited to like just EX or sparking units to be in leader slots?
I mean, well, that's tough because a lot of the premium ultras, their ultra ability is like focused around the leader slot, right? Like, so they would have had like that is like a valid argument, but I think that they would have had to obviously like adjust the ultra abilities if that was the case.
But I mean, in that case, you know, they would have thought about it beforehand. Because if they said from the get-go,
exactly.
we're only allowing extremes and sparkings. By the way, why not Hero Hercule? Then the ultras would have had something else, right?
Yeah, for sure. But definitely good question. Fresh asked, what are some of your predictions for MUI's kit? I think he will be type neutral on all attacks. What do you guys think?
2 of those unique vanish gauges or something. I don't know.
He has 2 gauges.
I think he's definitely gonna have some type of gauge. I'm kind of interested to see if they return back to like the UI gauge where he has like the auto dodge mechanics, or if they branch off and try something else. I don't know.
Oh my god, you know, dude, that would be disgusting. What if he has the 2 gauges, like how you guys just said? He has the auto dodge, and then he has a gauge like Gogeta.
That'd be pretty
Yeah,
nuts.
deadass. I can see that like happening. Like that's crazy to think about, but I can definitely see that happening. But I do think that the anniversary gonna have somebody with the unique gauge lock, because if you guys didn't know, that is in the file, so it is coming out eventually. And I could see MUI being some anti-gauge type character.
Oh yeah.
I could see that. And then that would kind of be funny because he would counter his best partner, which is the Ultra Goku.
I mean, he would
That's it, but
counter.
yeah.
He would counter Gogeta, kind of. I mean, well,
Yeah,
Gogeta
yeah,
would still
too.
be good, but like
Yeah.
Ultra Goku kind of. I don't want to say relies on the gauge, but Ultra
Yeah.
Goku gets a lot of his like stuff from his gauge. But
Yeah.
honestly, that's honestly not a bad idea because, you know, he would kind of help balance the meta. I don't know if balance is the right word, but he would kind of help adjust the meta a little bit and, you know, shut down these other Ultra units. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Dark ass, do y'all think World Tournament will be revamped into TOP?
World
What?
Tournament.
What? What?
I don't know what that means. Okay. Okay.
Yup.
George asks, what if they put the busted abilities for ultras only in the ultra ability? Then in a way you were forced to only use one ultra. What if they put the busted ultra abilities for ultra? Wait, dude, I'm so confused.
The busted abilities for ultras only in the ultra ability, so that they only get them themselves. But that, I don't see how then you're only forced to use one ultra, to be honest.
Because they're not getting any of those, but like, you know how they get the, I know it exactly what this guy's saying. I think, so basically,
Exactly,
you know
I
how
think.
exactly, I think, but you know how you get 30% in the leader slot for the, just flat out from the leader, from the
Yeah.
ultras. He's saying that you won't get like the 5% per tag, you know, if you're not in the leader slot. So you don't get that 30% or even 25% at all. You could still run them there, but that's a significant nerf if you're missing out on like a 25% or all of that stuff right there. So you you're watering down one of your ultras for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad idea actually. I don't see them going back and changing it now. That's the issue. You know, if they would have done something like that from the get-go, then I think that's a valid idea. But I don't see, now that people have spent money chasing these units and stuff like that, I just don't see them changing it now.
Yeah, I don't either. You know what? Someone in the chat actually put in a good idea that I think that I actually kind of like is someone mentioned Dokkan, right? And I think it's fair to compare them, right? Just because they're both Dragon Ball gacha games. But in Dokkan, when you're making a party, you have like a cost for your party. Like each unit has like a cost on it, and you have to basically put your units in line with that cost. So you can't just put your like just a million like their version of like ultras in there, because then the cost would be too great. You would have to swap
Like
them
Call
out.
of Duty,
Oh, is
like with perks and stuff.
is that the same thing with Call of Duty? Yeah. I think that system would have fit in really nicely right here, honestly.
That is actually a really good idea, because even some of the down bad teams, like so obviously I think Godkey is in a way better spot now than they have been in the past. But that is a good idea, because some of these teams that are kind of down bad, if they have an ultra unit, most likely they only have one ultra. So that's something like that is not really going to affect these like pure setups where if you're running like a pure God Key team, that's not really going to affect that. But if you're somebody that's trying to run like the 2 premium ultras together, then maybe that is something that, you know, there's a cost to that to where maybe you're not allowed to do that. I mean, I could see that. I could see that. Okay, we got.
All right, let's do one more.
Okay. Let's see. Drop your questions, chat.
I think Scott was asking, what are we expecting for the next All-Star banner, which is probably on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. Wait, what? Oh yeah, next All-Star banner.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully nothing LOE. I hope we don't see anything for LOE in a while. Maybe they could give USS some more love. I'm not sure. What was the last All-Star banner?
Kaioken and Revival Frieza, right?
Yeah, it still has a couple days left on it too.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe, I mean, I could see USS getting some love. I could see maybe androids. We still need some, I think androids definitely still need some love.
Yeah.
But see, when I think about like what banner needs to come, I'm thinking about like balance for the meta. And let's just be honest, that's most of the time not how the developers think. So it could be really anything for all we know. But maybe androids.
Probably,
sick, dude.
I saw Piggy say something about like we're gonna get a Kefla or something. That'd be
Yikes.
interesting if you got a.
Get out,
a Kefla.
Piggy. Nobody likes
We are
Kefla.
we are kind of overdue for another Kefla, aren't we?
No,
Yes.
never.
Yes.
I think
bro.
we are. And I mean female Warriors
yes.
needs it for sure.
Thank you, Swift. We need if they're gonna do an All-Star banner, bro, like the possibilities are endless, bro. The All-Star banners, no one really just wakes up and is like, oh, dude, I cannot wait for the next All-Star. This is where they can get weird with it, right? I want them to actually make some like good female units, bro. Because I was trying to run females, dude. They don't even got Zenkai buffers, bro. Like it's so rough. Like they have like Zenkai units, right? But it's like you look at Kale, Caulifla, it's for their respective color, and then Rival Universe. Even with the Android Zenkais, it's for respective color and androids. There's none for female warriors, bro. Let me get some female warriors. love.
No.
Yes,
no, stop
ZVG,
it.
please,
You and
bro.
Baltimore in chat right now. I'm stopping both of you guys. No
Thank you,
female
ZVG.
warrior, boss. You're welcome, Pumps. I got you. Since somebody was gonna step up to stop them, I will. We don't want no Ox King. We don't want no females. We don't want none of that. We want broken. We want everywhere Goku. We want Ultra Super Vegeta. We want Ultra Chunks that slice the freezer. That's what you want. We want high broken
For
characters,
All
okay?
Stars?
That's what you.
Dude, it's going to be for all stars.
Oh.
It's going to be LF Revival
I'm
Red
dead.
Cooler.
I am
There.
dead. Actually, for All Stars, I could definitely see a Kefla with
For All Star for sure.
Rubian.
Yeah,
And
and she's
Rubian,
as good
probably.
as Kaioken.
Nah, but I feel like All Stars. I have literally only had 3 units that have been top tier in their entire history. Oob,
Revival Frieza.
and yeah, that's pretty much it. So to that sense, so
I mean,
Yeah,
well, hold up.
it's-
Clapku on release, only on release in like the months
Nah.
preceding the release.
He's not even close to the others though. Like not even close to Majub and not even close to Revival.
Yeah,
Frieza,
no,
in
I'll
my
agree with
opinion.
that. He's nowhere near the level. Dude, Revival Frieza came out and was just like way better than I thought he was going to be. Like, I'm not even going to lie. Like, Revival Frieza is just so insanely good.
yeah, but probably Andrew. Probably Kefla. I think I honestly can't. I honestly don't even care about All Stars at all. So I can't really think about any All Star banner or anything.
Can we do one more question? I see Khaled asked a pretty good question here.
Okay.
Do you guys think that they made Goku's unique gauge too fast?
No, I think if it was too slow, I think it would have killed the unit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
I think
Like it killed Cell.
Who?
honestly, I think it's the perfect level right now to where like you can't just vanish with an empty gauge and immediately get your vanish back, but it is fast enough to where like if you vanish and gain priority, you will be able to get your vanish back within your next combo. Like I think they did a good job on how fast it is right now. I think if it was any faster, it would have been busted, and if it was like any slower, it wouldn't have had like the same impact that it does. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, also, I think the question was very fast, and I feel like, yes, it's very fast, but it's not too fast.
Yeah.
Because that was, as you said, it was needed.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So then we are going to end the podcast over here. And yeah, we're going to go and raid Moji in a second. Guys, grinding for partners. So is Battle More. So make sure to drop those two a follow on Twitch. Help them out. And of course, follow Azdeek, Swift, ZVG, and Ironcane on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, wherever they are. And yeah, you will definitely like what they have to offer. With that said, we will be back next week with episode 79 and maybe some more topics than this time. But hey, it worked out, right? And yeah, with that said, Twitch Prime's not a crime. We'll see you guys next week. We're going to raid off. Have a great one and stay safe. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
Later.